Hey guys, glad to see you. Thanks again for joining us here at the Genesis Link Consulting Group. Today we're going to discuss TAKT basics. The objective of this module is to provide you with an introduction to TAKT, the difference between TAKT and cycle time, and the formula for calculating TAKT. The topics we will cover will be: what is TAKT? How is TAKT different from cycle time? What are the benefits of using TAKT? What is needed to calculate TAKT? The formula for TAKT, and then we'll go over an example. What is TAKT? TAKT is the rhythm of a line or process. It is the time in which units must be produced in order to meet your customer demand. For example, every 3 minutes, every 10 seconds, etc. Now, TAKT versus cycle time. First of all, let's look at TAKT. TAKT is the total time allowed to meet the customer demand. TAKT specifically focuses on customer demand, and it considers normal non-working time and delays in the calculation. On the other hand, now let's look at cycle time. This is the actual time it takes for you to produce a unit. It is the processing time. Cycle time focuses on the process, and it does not consider delays. Let's talk about some of the benefits of using TAKT in your business. TAKT allows for a steady pace to minimize peaks and valleys. For example, as it relates to the ramp-ups and overtime or shutdowns and layoffs. Further, TAKT helps your process to be more efficient by eliminating the waste of overproducing, since you're basically setting your line to a pace. Now let's talk about the things that are needed to calculate TAKT. First of all, you need to know your customer demand. That is, how many units does your customer want? Next, the number of shifts that you have in a day and the minutes per shift. The number of breaks per shift and how long for each break. And then lastly, the number of minutes per shift that your operators are doing non-production activities. This might be things such as morning meetings, 5S cleanup, or shift transactional meetings. When they're on the clock, and they're being paid, but they're doing non-production activities. Okay, now looking at the formula for TAKT, so you take the total time that you have available per shift minus all of those non-production work activities. And we're going to look at an example a little later, so that'll put more meat to this for you. And you divide all of that by the customer demand. Okay, let's look at an example here. First of all, we have a customer who wants 75 units every day, and we have a one-shift operation that has a daily morning meeting for 15 minutes. There are 2 breaks per shift at 15 minutes each, and then there's a 5S cleanup for 30 minutes. Now, those are the non-work activities that I was mentioning that we need to account for in our production time. So we take 480 minutes minus the 15 minutes for the morning meeting, minus the 30 minutes, which is the 2 breaks at 15 minutes each, minus our 30 minutes for 5S. So we come up with an effective 405 minutes per shift that we have to work with. So we take our 405 minutes per shift divided by 75 units, and we come up with 5.4 minutes per unit. So basically, every 5.4 minutes, we need to have a unit coming off of our production line if we are going to meet the customer demand of 75 units at the end of the day. Now, many times people use 480 minutes because that's the normal 8 hours in a shift. I cannot emphasize how wrong that is, because you will always be behind, and it will require you to work overtime because you have not accounted for your delays. And again, when you work overtime, that's an increase in cost. So please make sure you account for your normal non-production work activities that you know you have on a daily basis when you are calculating your TAKT time. Okay, let's go over and summarize what we've discussed today. We talked about TAKT being the rhythm of a line or process. We talked about how TAKT focuses on customer demand, and TAKT considers the normal non-working time and delays in its calculation. The formula for calculating TAKT is the available time per shift minus your non-production work time all over your customer demand. Again, your non-production work times are things such as breaks, your meetings, 5S, those normal activities that you do on a daily basis where the operators are on the clock and being paid, but they are not producing a product. I cannot emphasize enough how wrong it is not to subtract those normal non-production work activities from your available time. Because if you don't, it's going to make you have to work overtime in order to meet your production. And lastly, TAKT helps your process to be more efficient and eliminate the waste of overproducing or the increased cost for overtime. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. That's it for today. Again, please visit us online at www.genesisleangroup.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. As always, it's been our pleasure, and we look forward to working with you and helping your organization on its lean journey. Have a great one.